A Fisherman's Dream. Chapter 1. The Call of Adventure. There are times when life nudges you towards something extraordinary, a pull you can't ignore. For me, that nudge came in the form of a story, a tale of a golden fish that had eluded capture for as long as anyone could remember. They called it the Golden Trout, a fish so rare and beautiful that it shimmered like the sun itself, hidden away in a remote, untouched stream deep in the wilderness. The stories of the Golden Trout had been passed around campfires and fishing lodges for years, each version more fantastical than the last. Some said it was as big as a man's arm, its scales glittering like gold coins. Others claimed it was a spirit of the river, a guardian of the wild places that few dared to explore. As an avid angler with a taste for adventure, I was hooked on the idea. The thought of tracking down this legendary fish became a dream that wouldn't let go. I packed my gear and set off, leaving behind the comforts of home for the thrill of the unknown. The journey to the Whispering Stream wasn't easy. It involved hiking through dense forests, crossing rivers, and navigating trails that seemed more like faint suggestions than actual paths. But every step brought me closer to the stream, and to the adventure that awaited me. When I finally reached the Whispering Stream, it was even more breathtaking than I had imagined. The water was so clear you could see every pebble on the bottom, and the air was filled with the sound of birds and the rustle of leaves. It felt like I had stepped into a secret world, one that was far removed from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The stream wound its way through the landscape, forming deep pools and gentle rapids, each one a potential hiding place for the Golden Trout. I set up camp on the bank, eager to begin the hunt. The stories had led me here, but now it was up to me to see if the legend was true. Was there really a golden fish in these waters, or was it just a tale spun to entertain the weary traveler? There was only one way to find out. Chapter 2. The Dance of the River. The next morning, I rose with the sun, my heart pounding with anticipation. The forest was still. The only sounds were the chirping of birds and the gentle murmur of the stream. I waded into the water, feeling the coolness seep through my pants, and cast my line. The fly floated gracefully on the surface, carried by the current as it drifted downstream. The Whispering Stream was alive with activity. Fish darted in and out of the shadows, their scales catching the sunlight as they moved. It was a perfect morning for fishing, and I was in my element. But even as I caught one beautiful trout after another, none of them were the Golden Trout. It was as if the river was teasing me, showing me its treasures but keeping the one I sought just out of reach. I spent the day exploring every nook and cranny of the stream, casting my line into the deep pools and letting it drift through the quiet eddies. The river was a maze of possibilities, each turn revealing a new challenge, a new opportunity. I felt a deep connection to the water, to the fish that swam in it, and to the land that surrounded me. There was a rhythm to it all, a dance that I was just beginning to learn. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the water, I saw it, a flash of gold, just beneath the surface. It was quick, almost imperceptible, but it was enough to make my heart skip a beat. I cast my line in that direction, my hands steady, my breath caught in my throat. The fly drifted towards the spot, but the flash of gold was gone. I waited, hoping for another glimpse, but the Golden Trout remained hidden. It was as if it was playing a game with me, teasing me with its presence but never fully revealing itself. But I wasn't discouraged. This was part of the adventure, part of the thrill. The Golden Trout was out there, somewhere, and I was determined to find it. Chapter 3. The Encounter. The following days were filled with more fishing, more exploring, and more near misses with the Golden Trout. Each day brought new challenges, but also new joys. I reveled in the beauty of the wilderness, the peace of the river, and the thrill of the chase. The Whispering Stream had become a place of wonder for me, a place where every moment was filled with possibility. Then, one morning, it happened. I was standing in a shallow part of the stream, the water cool against my legs, when I saw it, a glint of gold, just beneath the surface. This time, it didn't disappear. It stayed, hovering in the water as if daring me to make my move. I cast my line, my heart pounding, and watched as the fly floated towards the fish. The Golden Trout struck the fly with a sudden burst of energy, and my line went taut. I felt the strength of the fish immediately. It was powerful, more powerful than any trout I had ever hooked. I fought with a vigor that took me by surprise, darting back and forth, trying to shake the hook. But I held firm, carefully reeling it in, feeling the adrenaline rush through my veins. The battle was intense, the fish pulling with all its might, but I was patient. I let it run when it needed to, giving it space to tire itself out. Slowly, I began to bring it closer to the surface, and as it broke through the water, I saw it in all its glory. The golden trout was even more magnificent than the stories had described. Its scales glistened like precious metal, reflecting the sunlight in a way that made it seem almost unreal. I held my breath as I brought it closer, careful not to lose my grip. It was a moment of pure exhilaration, a moment that made every step of the journey worthwhile. I had done it. I had found the legendary golden trout. Chapter 4. A decision made. As I gazed at the golden trout, its vibrant colors mesmerizing in the morning light, I felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. Here was the fish that had eluded so many before me, the fish that had become a legend. But as I held it in my hands, I also felt something else. A deep sense of respect for this creature and the river that had nurtured it. The stories had always been about the chase, the capture, the triumph. But now, standing there with the golden trout in my hands, I realized that the true triumph wasn't in taking the fish out of the water, but in experiencing the journey that had led me to this moment. The river had shared its greatest treasure with me, and I knew that this treasure wasn't mine to keep. With a smile, I gently lowered the golden trout back into the water. For a moment, it lingered as if acknowledging our encounter, and then, with a flick of its tail, it disappeared into the depths of the stream. I watched it go, feeling a sense of peace and fulfillment wash over me. The golden trout was free, and so was I. I packed up my gear and began the journey back home, my heart light with the joy of the adventure I had just experienced. The golden trout had been real, and I had seen it with my own eyes, held it in my hands. But more than that, I had discovered something even more valuable. The thrill of the chase, the beauty of the wilderness, and the understanding that sometimes the best stories are the ones that end with the fish swimming away. If you've enjoyed this story and would like to hear some more, do let us know in the comments below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. Thanks.